Shalom. My name is Reverend Kristan and welcome to my new online channel, Rivers of Living Water. We need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves. Let me tell you my story. First, a little bit about my background. Just a little bit lah. My family and I live in a small atap house in the Malay village called Kampung Batarabit. Across the road was a rubber estate owned by United Plantations Berhad. Most of my friends were Malay and Indian. I had two childhood best friends. The first was Isa. Isa is a classical Arabic name which is the name given to Jesus in the Quran and other Islamic texts. The other best friend was Ram Singh. Growing up in a multicultural community gave me a unique opportunity to experience the beliefs, customs, cultures, values, and especially the food and the music of the Chinese, Malay, and Indian people. At one point, I could even sing a few Hindi and Tamil songs. But that was a long time ago lah. For those who remember the racial riots of May 13, 1969, you might understand how precarious things could be back then. My family was the only Chinese household in the Malay village of Batarabit. Despite the Sino-Malay sectarian violence, the three of us, my grandpa, grandma, and I, were unharmed. We were completely unscathed. My encounters with spirits. I grew up in a religious family. From a young age, I helped my grandma with prayers, using joss-sticks to honor our household gods. During Deepawali, my Tamil Hindu friends would invite me to their homes for the celebrations. In September, I'll join them for the Mariamman Temple festivals. I even ate and slept at the Mariamman Temple. Besides Mariamman, there was also Muniandy, a Tamil rural guardian deity of estates and plantations, regarded as the divine attendant to Mariamman. One evening, we visited the Muniandy temple deep inside the rubber plantation. Upon arrival, we heard chanting, probably by the temple priest. Moments later, a man suddenly entered a trance. His voice and facial expressions changed instantly. He sat on the chair, asked for a tongkat, cane, and a cherut cigar, and started smoking profusely. I was about 10 years old at that time. It was an unforgettable experience. Soon, people started taking turns asking him for blessings or favors, and he was happy to oblige. There were about 9 or 10 people ahead of me. Since we were the last to arrive, we were also the last on the line. When it was finally my turn, Muniandy took one look at me and chided, "What are you doing here? Your family is looking for you. Go home now." Without hesitation, my friend and I hopped on our bicycles and raced back home. Muniandy was right. As soon as we emerged from the plantations, there was my grandpa searching for me. He had a big stick in hand, probably to whack the daylights out of me. Si kui kia, bo kia si, lu ki taloa, bo kalang konga, pa si lua. Those who understand Hokkien will know exactly what he meant. I grew up in a world where gods and spirits were very real and powerful. Another significant encounter with spirits happened when I was about 5 or 6 years old. This time, I was told that I had offended one of the gods and was being punished for being paisi, naughty. In our Chinese home, we had a family altar, a modern hybrid setup with a display cabinet and 2 tall cupboards on either side. On the altar from right to left were Tua Pei Kong, Kuan Yin, and the ancestors' tablet. On the floor between the cupboards was Tei Chu Kong, the earth god, or
土地公
in Mandarin. The space where Tei Chu Kong resided became my goal post, and Tei Chu Kong, the earth god, was my goalkeeper. I would kick my red striped plastic football into the space as if I were taking a penalty. Go! Very paisy, right? Very mischievous. The next morning, I woke up with my eyes glued shut. I couldn't open them. Some of you might say now, Padan Muka serves you right. My grandma took me to see a Dr. Tan who prescribed some cream for my eyes. But she also consulted a temple medium who told her that I've offended Tei Chu Kong and he had punished me. The remedy was straightforward. I was to be given away to the temple deity as his Kia, godson. The idea was that by becoming the godson of a more powerful, higher-ranking god than the lower-tier earth god, I would come under his protection, and the earth god could no longer harm me. So the agreement was made, and I was adopted as the Kia godson. In return, I was given a pendant made from a small gold coin inscribed with Chinese characters. I was to wear it as a talisman around my neck. Since we are Hokkien Lang from An Sun, my guess is that the temple my grandmother consulted was probably the Hock Sun Kiong Temple in Teluk Anson, now known as Teluk Intan. I grew up in a world where gods and spirits were very real and powerful. Spirits across cultures. Living in a Malay village, I often hear stories about Malay spirits. Among them were the Pontianak, a female vampire spirit said to be the ghost of a woman who died during childbirth, and the mischievous Toyo, Kui Kia in Hokkien, an undead infant spirit in Malay folklore known for stealing small sums from houses. Then there were also tales of shaman, dukun, pawang, bomo, and black magic, but I'll save that for another video. These stories about spirits, shamans, and black magic are not unique to the Malay, Chinese, or Indian communities, nor are they confined to Southeast Asia. You will find similar tales across cultures worldwide in Asia, Africa, and South America. While they may be called by different names, they are essentially the same. The belief in spirits and the use of magic to manipulate them for personal benefits. More on this in another video, so stay tuned. I grew up in a world where spirits and gods were very real and powerful. They could visit us, communicate with us, and even harm us. But enough of spirits. Let me move on to something else. Let me now share with you my schema. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, my primary school teacher, Miss Leela, said something that left a lasting impression on me. She said, behind every god you pray to, you are praying to the Creator God. Her words became my schema. a mental framework that helped me make sense of my religious and spirit experiences. Psychologically speaking, a schema is a mental structure that helps us organize, process, and store information about our environment. These mental structures are essential for understanding the complexities of the world, as they allow us to interpret new experiences through the lens of what we already know. Looking back today, I wonder, was Miss Leela referring to Brahman, the ultimate reality in Hinduism? In Hindu belief, is Brahman the creator God, the supreme absolute truth, and the creative principle of the universe? Am I right? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you. My first known encounter with the Creator God. I've always been conscious about not littering. I'm not sure where this environmental awareness came from, but I've always disliked seeing people throw rubbish on the ground. But one day, out of nowhere, I decided to throw rubbish. If you ask me why, what happened, I honestly don't know. I just had this urge, this strange, unexplainable urge to throw rubbish. That's all I can say. So, I bought myself some peanuts, kacang putih, which back then came in paper cones. After finishing the peanut, I crushed the paper cone in my hand, held it close to my chest, and slowly and stealthily let it drop to the ground. And guess what? I got caught. The school prefect who caught me said to me, "I've been watching you the whole time." Out of the hundreds of students roaming around during the tea break, he chose to keep an eye on me. Me! Can you believe it? The one time, only time I decided to litter, to throw rubbish, I got caught. For this single act of rebellion, I was sent to the principal's office and was caned by our headmaster, Mr. To Sung Guan. At first, I was upset and felt it was so unfair. But because of my new schema, my mental framework, I interpreted the experience as a sign that somebody up there is watching over me. This experience created in me a deep sense of awe, a mix of fear and wonder. It made me realize that there is a Creator God who watches over me, guiding me and ensuring that I don't stray too far from the right path. What about you? Have you ever had a moment in your life where you felt like somebody up there is watching over you? For me, this awareness that somebody up there is watching over me probably saved my life 3 years later. I will share about this story in the next video. We need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves. By telling you my story, I've realized that God has been preparing me step by step to know Him. First, I grew up in the multicultural and multi-religious community where gods and spirits were real and powerful. I came to understand that the world we live is more than just the physical. There is a vast spiritual dimension that often overlaps with our three-dimensional reality. Next, through my teacher, Miss Leela, a new schema was formed, a revised mental framework that helped me interpret and make sense of my childhood encounters with spirits. With these experiences and this newly revised schema, I was ready for a personal encounter with the Creator God, the author and source of all life. As I continue my story in the next video, you will see how when the Creator God finally revealed Himself to me, I was ready to recognize and welcome Him into my life. Shalom. If you enjoyed this message, please give it a like. If you have some thoughts to share, some questions to ask, some comments to make in reference to this video or message, feel free to write them in the comment section below. If this message has blessed you, consider sharing with others who might be blessed by it too. Just forward the link to them. And finally, do consider subscribing to this new channel. God-focused, Jesus-centered, Spirit-inspired, Bible-faithful, narrative-driven, practical living, prophetic teaching messages. To God be the glory.